Hello, my name is Audrey and this is actually my very first YouTube video, and I'm going to be going over today how you can DIY your very own little ghost trick-or-treaters like this. I do know that it is November 5th, so I'm a bit late. I probably should have done this much earlier, but my mother was just visiting recently right before Halloween, and she helped me do this DIY because when I was growing up, these little trick-or-treaters were in my house. Well, not these exact ones. My mother had a pair that she DIY'd with all of my aunts, which I actually didn't remember, but a lot of them still have their little trick-or-treaters. So I wanted to recreate this for my front porch. I have this beautiful home that my fiance and I just bought, and we wanted to spruce things up, and these just honestly are so cute, and I'm just so pumped at how well they came out, and I just want to be able to share how you can make your own. The best part about this DIY is that there's no glue, and almost everything you see here is thrifted. This plywood was from the garage, so that didn't cost me any money. I had all the tools, but I'll list everything that you need. And then all the clothes, these little bags, this canvas, all thrifted. So, and I'm really, really excited to show you guys this. So let's get to it. Like I said, I found this plywood in my garage. It's 12 inches by 24 inches, and I used my miter saw to cut it in half. You can see I had to flip my plywood over because my miter saw only cuts 6 inches at a time. For my trick-or-treaters' legs, I found these dowels at the Thrift for $3, and I also used some old wooden broomstick handles in my garage. When it came to their height, I just went off of what I thought would look best for maybe the height of a 3- and 6-year-old. From there, I just placed the shoes wherever I thought they would look best and most natural on both of them. Both sets of shoes are thrifted. They were like, I think these were $4 and these ones were $3. I am just going to drill 2 holes through the shoes and through the plywood. You could drill the holes through the plywood and the shoes separately. I just did it together to save time. Okay, and then I gotta flip this over, and I do have to change out to the countersink bit. A countersink drill bit is very similar to a regular drill bit, the only difference being that the very top of the drill bit is wider. So as you drill in, it makes almost like a cone shape. And this is so when you put your screw in, the head of the screw will sit just inside the piece of wood, and it won't stick out. So now the screws will not stick out. Now I'm going to screw the screws in. I'm gonna screw the screws in like I did before, where it just goes like, just so it's popping out the other side and we can get the shoe on. The intent of just getting the tip of the screw through the plywood is so I can line up the tip of the screw with the holes in the shoe that I made earlier. From there, I can hold onto the shoe as it's smashed up to the screw and then screw through both of them. And then is it through the shoe?
It's not through the shoe yet. Oh, there it is.
Repeating what I did with the plywood, I'm screwing the screws up and into the shoes, but once I get to the sole, I'm stopping, so just the tip is poking out. Okay, so we kind of have to stop there because we need to then, do these have pilot holes yet? No. We need to put pilot holes in the legs, and then we'll keep attaching the screw that's come through the bottom of that. When I say pilot holes, I just mean pre-drilled holes in the wood or any of the items that we're working with. This is just so when the screw goes in, it doesn't splinter, it doesn't go off in some crazy direction. This is just giving the screw a guide so it goes exactly where it needs to go. And then they're gonna need pilot holes in the top for the top portion, so we'll do that now too. These pilot holes on top are going to connect the leg dowels to a future horizontal piece. Here is where we are able to match the dowel pilot holes to the screw that's going through the plywood and through the shoe. And then with my mother holding it, I'm able to get the remaining portion of that 3.5-inch screw up and into the dowel. You will repeat the same process a second time for the second leg, as well as you could end up doing it 2 more times if you're building 2 little trick-or-treaters. Oh my God, so cute. So now it's another countersunk, so it's flat. Now is the point where you get to kind of fit it the way you need it to. So I'm putting the pants on and it's adorable. And then from there, the horizontal piece I mentioned before, which you can kind of see me putting on the top now, is going to be where we're going to attach the pants to, and eventually the head. I just lined these up and then made it about center because honestly it doesn't matter. And then I drew one line and one line. This is how I so I just drew the lines to match the holes.
Yeah.
And then right in the middle of that is about there. So
yeah,
I'm now going to drill my pilot holes. So these pilot holes are going in sideways since the dowel is going to be on sideways in comparison to the original ones. One hole for each dowel leg to be connected to, and then one in the center that's going to hold our neck and then eventual head. As I mentioned before, I'm really just going with what I think looks good, and that includes the total height of these trick-or-treaters. So I took the length of the pants into consideration when making the dowels, and then now I'm just using my first one and kind of comparing to my second to see what a good height would be. The first was about 30 inches tall total, and the second one was about 33.
This is 28. 28
29,
inches.
30, 31, 32, 33. So 5 and then 6, 7 for in the head.
Right.
7. So now we just need to, I got this one. This will be for the head. And like all of them, just get it just to come through. The same technique for screwing through this dowel is the same as the vertical leg dowels. You're going to start with the original dowel, like I am here, and screw the screw down into the pilot hole just enough so it just barely pokes out the other side. This gives you the opportunity to line up your horizontal dowel with your leg dowels and your horizontal dowel with your neck dowel prior to actually screwing through, ensuring that there's no mistakes and you go into the second dowel smoothly. Boom. Yay, okay. But this will go in here, and then those two will go in here. I recommend attaching the horizontal dowel to the neck dowel first. If you attach the legs first, it's fine, but then you have to screw in the neck screw from the underside. So this way it just makes it easier. Boom.
Nice.
Then we are just going to line up the little screws with our pilot holes, which lines up perfectly.
Yep, it's going in.
Okay, we'll do it again on this side. Boom. For these screws that I used on the top of these dowels, I left them out, and it's actually funny with little kid clothing. A lot of them, they have like some sort of like adjustable straps, or like this one has the elastic band around the waist. I use those to keep the pants up, which is awesome. Again, not needing to staple or glue, so this can all come apart. And then leaving out these screws was so perfect because now I can hang the little basket. You can see I did it here as well. For the actual ghost costume, I just measured from the top of the mannequin head down to the top of the basket, which was about 20 inches, made that my radius, and then cut a circle from the fabric to match. The mannequin heads that I got from Joann Fabrics actually came with a hole on the underside of them, which was perfect for just slipping right on top of the dowel. Again, not needing to use any glue or staples or anything like that. And final touch are these cute little ghost eyes. So I cut them from felt that I got from the craft store, but the felt I got is actually adhesive on one side, so that's how I'm sticking it to the fabric. You could also use hot glue, or you could use a marker or paint to draw them on. With having the supplies at home, as well as going to the thrift store, My total cost all in on this project was about $40. Thanks so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. Again, this is my very first YouTube video, so I hope to be posting some more things like this, DIYs that I do, maybe some home updates. Like I mentioned, we just bought our house. It's a mid-century modern, so there'll be some things of that nature as well. If you think you might be interested, go ahead and subscribe. Please like this video, share it, save it for next year. I'm definitely going to repost the footage next year before Halloween to hopefully see if anybody else decides to take on this challenge. And I guess I'll just see you next time. Thanks.